Hi guys! This time no tutorial video, but we're going to look together into the latest community crunch and find out why the new upcoming balancing pass is a very big thing. If you want to have a look into the notes yourself, I have linked the community crunch in the description below the video. Also make sure that you like and subscribe if you love to see more content like this. Just in case you haven't heard about it, Wildcard will publish a giant patch on the 30th of July, and that is going to influence the gameplay by quite a bit. It also addresses problems that have been around for a while, some even forever, and make your lives a little bit easier. First of all, we are going to talk about the creature changes because there are quite some interesting things happening. You can now go deeper into the ocean with your Basilosaurus before you start taking damage. That's helpful for underwater caves and for ocean missions on Genesis. Basilosaurus take damage over time when they go too deep into the ocean. The depth was increased by 30%. And next there was a nerf to the Bloodstalker that will especially target PvP. The armor penetration got reduced by 30%, and the durability damage got reduced by 50%. The next change is probably one of my favorites and made my heart jump a little bit, because the Carnotaurus also got a little love. The left click now has a 30% armor penetration. The right click attack will apply an unstackable bleed effect that takes 5% of the target's life as damage over 10 seconds. Biting again will reset the timer, which I understand as that you can have perma-bleed with just enough Carnos. Will they now even be boss viable? And guess who is going to try that out? The Carbonemis got a little bit more tanky against tech turrets. They got a 10% increased resistance against them. I guess the turtle tanking meta in PvP is back? The very next point makes me insanely happy because I suggested it on Twitter when Genesis got released. The Duncleo finally gets some love, and just as his land-dwelling farming buddies, he now has reduced weight to resources. Obsidian weight is reduced by 75%, metal, stone, crystal, black pearls are reduced by 50%, and on top we also get 20% increased swim speed. Enki Doad of the ocean, anyone? The Leopleurodon, or how I call them, the Luckysaurus, those are the tiny plesios, will get an insane boost. Their buff timer is increased from 30 minutes to 6 hours. You can use this dino to boost the quality of water, deep sea and cave drops. This is a big thing if you farm for blueprints and items. The giant turtle Megashellon gets nerfed by quite a bit. The shell resistance is lowered by 30% and the amount of health they get per level is reduced by 15%. And this is similar for the Parasaur because their decrease of health per level is 15% as well. So much for changes in balancing on the creatures, and now to changes of breeding timers of the creatures. The following animals get a reduced maturation timer: the Mosasaur, the Basilo, the Tuzo, the Plesio, the Compi, the Ecus, the Quetzal, the Phiomia, the Ichthyosaurus, the Duncleo, and the Jabor. The only animal that will actually get an increased timer is the Woolly Rhino, and that was already pretty low, so it's actually a very reasonable change. The next part is the general balancing and quality of life changes for the gameplay, and these are huge, so let's go through them. First of all, farming with someone sitting on an Enki and you carry both with an Argent just got easier, because the bird will now always prioritize the mount over the rider. So when picking up the animal, you will pick up the Enki and not the rider from the Enki. That will make early farming with 2 people a lot smoother and easier. Next, the baby creatures won't be on auto wander anymore when born, so no more roll red explosions that make servers crash. Next one is a small one, and if you are mounting a flyer, the flyer will not immediately start flying, but it will just stay on the ground and wait for you to start flying. One thing I think it's super interesting is the change to the tech helmet. You will now get the gas mask buff protecting you from poison wyvern and basilisk, and probably even from the manticore. You might even be able to use this for the swamp cave on the island. Next one is another PvP change, and tech turrets now require twice the amount of shards in order to fire. For all of you resource hoarders, the raw metal and ingots tech size will be increased to 300. There are also some changes to spoil timers. Lesser Antidote Prime and Fish Prime will now have longer timers. Something especially PvE players will be happy about. You cannot push animals of other tribes with gas bags anymore. This was often used to grief bases on PvE. There is also a bug fix to when HLNA or chibis are equipped, they will not cancel the ghillie effect against bees anymore. Yeah, that happened to me. I got killed by bees because I had HLNA. And yes, she also commented me dying. The next two changes are for the voice chat, where you are now able to toggle between normal voice, whisper and yelling. And another little change for Xbox and PS4 players. You will now get 15 more seconds to all race missions on Genesis, and this will make them a little bit easier. For everyone who did not participate in all the events and therefore was missing out a lot on event emotes, they will now be available in the Hexagon store on Genesis for 50k hexagons. One change for Valguero, the boss timer has now been increased by 10 minutes to a total of 30 minutes. So you now have a little bit more time to battle the manticore that does not care about you wanting him to land. The last change is an additional option for admins to decide how many gate frames they allow on a platform, so on a raft or on a saddle platform. And I assume this is also a PvP thing because it will be automatically limited on official PvP. The last giant announcement is something Wildcard has done before and now does again. The official raids are going to be changed. Since they are implemented into the base game, this is also affecting people hosting their own game or server. From the 13th on, official rates for harvesting, taming and experience will be permanently doubled. Those rates will become the new 1x. If you run a boosted server and you want to keep your modifiers, you need to have them in your settings, and you need to have them for taming, harvesting and experience. Breeding will not be affected. Overall, I think these are big news for ARK players because a lot of these things that were addressed have been asked by the community for a long time. Some things even for years. There will be also some more breeding changes in the later patch. They just couldn't fit everything into this one. So let's see if that means we need to update our breeding guide. But if you haven't seen it yet, just follow the end card and click on the video if you're interested into ARK breeding. Which of these announcements excited you the most? Let me know in the comments. Also, give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope also that I see you in the next video. Have a great day. See you. Bye.